Good morning, everyone. Are you thinking of starting a YouTube channel, or are you simply curious of knowing what it's like to be a YouTuber in 2021? Well, this video is definitely for you. I will share 10 truths about becoming a YouTuber in 2021. Let's roll the intro. For those of you who are new to this channel, I'm Bellemare-Alford, a young photographer and filmmaker on a journey to become better at this art. Let's get started right away with the infamous views. Okay, so let's talk about views. I'm not gonna tell like most YouTubers to stop looking at your views and not look at your analytics. Instead, I'm gonna tell you that you need to be careful about what views are telling you. So around last November, I got a huge spike in one of my videos, getting over 150,000 views on that video. That was huge because at that time, most of my videos would only get around 100 to 200 views. I also had two other videos during that time on the Google Pixel 4a that got a lot of views with around 50,000 views each of them. The problem with all these videos, even though I got a lot of views, is that it's not good for my channel in the end. The problem is that most of my subscribers, 5,000 of them, came from these free videos, and they all expect to get a lot of content about the Google Pixel 4a. The reality is that my content is much broader than just the Google Pixel 4a, but every time that I post a video that isn't about this topic, they don't perform as well as these original videos because that's what my subscribers are expecting from my channel. So the lesson here is that slow growth is much better than viral growth. If you're starting a channel in 2021, you're very lucky because Google Analytics is much better than it used to be. There's two things that you should really look at when you're analyzing your videos, and the first one is click-through rate. This allows to tell how much people are clicking your video once you publish it and they see it inside of their feed or somewhere on YouTube. My very good click-through rates are around 10 to 15% for the first few days for videos that perform very well, but most of my videos are actually around 5% of click-through rate, which isn't very great. The other thing you want to look for is the watch time for every videos. So it used to be only a graph, but now Google Analytics actually tells you if there's a dip, if there's a spike, if people are watching continuously, and much more information like that, which is very helpful because remember, in the end, Google wants to sell ads, and the longer you keep people watching your video, the better it is for your Google Analytics. So the second truth is that views are not the statistics you should be looking at inside of Google Analytics. Okay, so now let's talk about the money I made on YouTube. I made about $1,400 in the last 6 months, which is about $47 per video. That isn't much at all. What was a little bit more surprising is that I made another $300 with affiliate links, which was much more than I expected. But even with that, it's still just about $50 per video, which isn't enough to sustain your channel. If you consider you also have to pay for things like Epidemic Sound, Adobe, Genius Link, and things like that, I ended up spending over $2,500 in spendings for the last year. So I actually had a deficit in the end and didn't even make a profit with YouTube. So if you're thinking of starting a YouTube channel to make some money, it's just not viable at the beginning. And this is the third truth. Now let's talk about the most controversial subject of all, which is which gear you should buy. Most people would suggest to buy the Sony a7S III or the Canon R5 to start your YouTube channel, but this is completely ridiculous because these are much too high-end cameras for most people. I personally use this 500 camera, the DJI Pocket 2, that has a great front-facing screen, very good video quality, and also a much-needed wireless microphone, and this allows me to really easily go all around outside than using this camera. Another thing that I recently upgraded is actually adding a dead cat that only cost a few dollars, but this really helped getting better audio, and I didn't have to buy a new Rode video microphone or something like that is much more expensive. Another thing is that most people are going to suggest buying aperture 120 lights, but this is completely ridiculous for somebody like me that doesn't film much inside. I instead bought this small little aperture light that I can actually use outside when making videos at night or even in the day when I need a little bit of fill light. All of this to say that the fourth truth is that you should buy the gear that is right for you, not the gear that you want to be buying. This is also going to allow you to do things like travel instead of having to upgrade a camera. So instead of buying Canon R5, I actually save some money and I'm going to be able to travel and create content that is much more interesting for my subscribers and better for my channel in the end. My next piece of advice is definitely going to be some controversial one, and it's to stop stressing so much about finding a niche. Instead, my truth number 5 is to make content that you enjoy, because if you're enjoying the content, people are going to see it, and it's much better that people see that you're enjoying the content than trying to please the algorithm. My next truth is definitely not a popular one, and is that it's much harder to start a YouTube channel in 2021. I actually have 1,668,204 content creators that have more subscribers than I do. That's a lot of people to compete with. Even Peter McKinnon, that I thought would easily be in the top 100, has 5,200 other content creators that have more subscribers than he does. On the positive note, here's a little bonus truth, and it's that people usually subscribe to you as a person, not necessarily just the content you're creating. My next tip is one that I learned the hard way, and it's that it's actually really hard to publish a video every single week. About 2 months ago, I had to take a break of 4 weeks because it was just too much trying to create a video every single week and also have school full-time and doing my exams. What you don't realize is actually that it takes about 2 to 3 hours to write the script for every video, 1 to 2 days to film the video, another 1 to 2 days to edit the video, and finally 2 to 3 hours to publish the video because you have to create a thumbnail, you have to translate the video, you have to create a description, you have to add chapters. So there's just so much work around creating a video. Another truth that I realized is that consistency is maybe a little bit overrated or just not really well understood. What I think is very important is to never stop creating videos, but you don't necessarily need to be publishing videos every single week. Most of my best performing videos were not published on a regular schedule in the end. My next point has everything to do about free stuff, and more particularly in my case, about getting free gear. I regularly get messages of people telling me that I'm lucky to get some free gear, but the truth is that nothing is ever completely free. You need to understand that for most companies, it's much cheaper to send some products to reviewers than actually have to create ads to reach people. Don't get me wrong, I'm really grateful of getting all this free stuff because as a small content creator, it's not possible for me to go out and buy all of this gear. With that being said, I still refuse most of the gear because it's just not a right fit for my channel, and it's also not good for the environment to be accumulating a ton of gear that I'm never actually going to be using in the end. My last truth is that you should really enjoy the process of creating videos before starting a YouTube channel. If you want to become rich or you want to become famous, there's much better and easier ways of doing that. I had 3 precise reasons why I wanted to start a YouTube channel. The first one was to become better at English, and creating a video every week really helps me keep my English and become better. The second reason was to become better at my technique, so either filming, telling a story, and editing the videos, and for this I'm still taking Skillshare classes to become better every single week. Finally, my last reason was to document my life, and for this I still have to work quite a lot to document my life more than just talking about gear, photography, or filmmaking. And these reasons are super important because it's going to help you continue making videos, which is very important when creating a channel. Instead of just abandoning the first time you have stats are not good or things like that, if you really enjoy the process, it's not going to be hard continuing to make videos week after week. I want to end this video on a more positive note and tell you that it's a lot of fun creating videos when you enjoy the process. I also want to say a huge thank you to all of you that come back every single week because it's a lot better making this video with all your support. Definitely let me know if you enjoyed this video by hitting the like button below, and also consider subscribing because I'm going to have more videos on how to create a video from planning to publishing and everything in between in the coming weeks. See you in the next one. Bye bye.